We've got another Mike Stool question. You even put in brackets, hey, wait, there aren't actually 12 of them, are there? I don't know. This question came in on January 30th, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The several published letters by you in comics, like Superman 212. No, Superman 203. I'm not sure. I don't think I had another letter in Superman, but everybody can, if you've got a Superman 212 at home, you want to pull it out and check, there might be a Dave Sim letter in there. Did you know at this point you wanted to be in comics? 1967, Superman 203 was January 2, 1968. Or were these simple fan letters? They were definitely simple fan letters. Being analytical, was this a, quote, foot in the door, unquote, to later submit stories or art to DC or Marvel? How much street cred did this get you in super hip, swinging 60s Kitchener, Ontario, Canada? Comics doesn't get you any street cred of any kind in Kitchener, Ontario, Canada. It's still a place where if I say I draw comics, they go, oh, you mean like in the newspaper? No, comic books. Oh, comic books. Yes, they're like little magazines. No, it was definitely just fan letter things. Send a fan letter, and then check the issue up ahead to see if they ran it, so that I could be one of the letters columns regulars, like Guy H. Lillian or Irene Vartanoff or Mike Friedrich were the legendary ones at the time. Which, in terms of your question, the foot in the door thing, I knew the legend of Jim Shooter when he broke into the comic book field at the age of 13, I think it was.
Yeah.
And the way that he broke in was by doing basically mock-ups of comic books and sending them to Mort Weisinger. He would do a Legion of Superheroes story and, draw it really, really badly and, handwrite the word balloons. But Mort Weisinger, no fool he, wasn't going to just say, oh, well, this is an amateur kid's comic book. What the hell is this guy doing on my desk? It was, well, no, I'm going to read this because I'm selling to kids. This came from a kid, and they were really, really good scripts. And Jim Shooter did not let, Mort Weisinger did not let it throw him off that this was a 13-year-old kid. He wrote back to him and said, keep sending these, but it'd probably be better if you typewrite them. And there's certainly a legendary batch of Legion of Superhero stories. The Super Stalag of Outer Space and Moby Dick of Outer Space. Jim Shooter had his finger on the pulse. It's do the Legion of Superheroes, but mix it up with Moby Dick. Do Escape from Stalag 17, but do it with the Legion of Superheroes. And that was very astute of him. And knowing that happened, and knowing that that's where these stories came from, why didn't I do that? Like, don't try and break into DC with art. Just, if you're going to do a Justice League story, well, how many pages is a Justice League story? Pull out the latest issue. Okay, it's 21 pages, 19 pages, whatever it is. Do it on, foolscap paper from school, and send it to Julie Schwartz, send it to Mort Weisinger. The worst that they can say is no, or okay, we'll buy the idea, but you're not ready to do a script. So one of those things where you credit yourself with being a very astute kid picking up on this stuff, and no, that's a fastball went right by you there, rookie. So there you go, Mike. There's oh, wait a minute. And then MJ Sewell. I'm kidding. It's the MJ Sewell of Easton, Pennsylvania, Michael R. But then you add, if his middle name is John, I quit. So yes, Michael R. of Easton, Pennsylvania. Hi, Matt. If there's a please hold for Dave Sim this weekend. He's still not really sure that we're doing these again. I really shouldn't have pulled his leg that badly on the last one. Then here are my questions. Hi, Dave. What was and is your preparation process on building up to a great cliffhanger? Have you changed anything from the beginnings of Cerebus to now working on SDOAR? There are Strange Death of Alex Raymond cliffhangers, and that's mostly a matter of moving stuff around and going, okay, what's the best way to tell this to get the biggest bang for the buck on the surprise? So whatever the surprise is, where you're, when my reaction was when I got the research from Eddie Kana or Jennifer DiGiacomo, that I went, you're kidding me. Then it's okay. You have to give this prime real estate. You've got to build up to this one and make sure that everybody's on the same page, literally, when they come to it. There's a Jennifer found, like I'm working, I really should have prepared for this. I'm doing The Many Deaths of Margaret Mitchell right now, and Hugh Gravitt, who was the driver of the car that struck her, was driving a 1949 Ford at the time. And Jennifer found that Duke University has all of Ford's papers in terms of their advertising, in-house promotions and whatnot. They donated all of them to Duke University. So she found literally 800, 900 ads for the 1949 Ford. And that became a winnowing process where, okay, you get it down to what you think are the best and give it to me as raw materials for me to say, I want this one, I want this one, I want this one. So heroic second effort, giving 110% for Jennifer, digging up all of this and then spending hours and hours and hours winnowing it down to 208. And it took Dave all of an hour and a half to go, okay, these are the 20 that I want. And out of the 20 that I got, there is one that is literally, I went, I can't believe I'm actually looking at this. This actually exists, and this was actually in a high-profile magazine the year before and the 7 years before the Alex Raymond. And it's the gift that keeps on giving. This one ad, this one image resonates through the whole rest of The Strange Death of Alex Raymond, all the way up into the 1960s. So it's like, okay, do I show it to them now? And it's like, No, I don't show it to them now. I can show this part too. There's a part of the ad that I can show them that's in the upper left corner, and that applies to what Ward Green was doing with the Pagan's Cheerful Summer summer stock playhouse thing that he was riffing on his own experience as a playwright in 1937. And I can show them that one, but it probably won't be another 6 years, 7 years until I can show them the whole ad and then say, and here's the big payoff years and years and years later. So that's really how it applies to Strange Death of Alex Raymond. Is I've got this whole spectrum of material that I have to cover, and if I get something, this was what Eddie and I call AAA material, where it's like there's A material, AA material, and AAA material, and I keep them in separate compartments and just go, I can't wait to get to this part. I can't wait until I can actually do this and then show it to people, have it accessible to the people who are getting as hooked on The Strange Death of Alex Raymond as I and Eddie and Jennifer are at this point. And the advantage of that is the stuff that applies to Alex Raymond's actual death. That's in a separate category. Here's all this stuff that was in comic strips and in comic books the month before and on the cover date of Alex Raymond's death. Here's Alex Raymond panel swipes in a Tales of the Unexpected story that was done, 1964. So that goes in and around. It's I still have 7 years of material to cover until I get to Alex Raymond's actual death. But then it's okay. The AAA material goes right at the point of impact. This is the car headed towards the tree that was the last thing that I did in Glamour Plus. That's going to be there, and it's just going to have its own constellation around it of AAA. You're kidding. No way. That was not in a comic book in May of 1956. If I'm lying, I'm dying. Eddie found it online, sent it to me, and it is all safely in its own manila envelope. When I get there, that's when I get there. It's one of the reasons that I enjoy doing Cerebus in Hell with a question mark, because I don't do cliffhangers in Cerebus in Hell with a question mark. I've spent my whole life doing cliffhangers and trying to make sure that they're all in the right place. I want to do beginning, middle, and end. And that's it. We're done. And segue on that, I did finally finish Spore Batbark, which features Michael R. of Easton, Pennsylvania, who is not in Hell with a question mark, but is just visiting. And we have photos that Michael has supplied for us. And that's the next issue that the David Birdsong is going to be working on. And I've asked him to keep Michael R. current with the production of the book, because it actually doesn't come out until November 2023. And if you know you're going to be in a comic book, Spore Batbark, and it's going to be actually you under your name, you shouldn't have to wait until November to see it if it's going to be existing sometime in the next month or a month and a half.
Okay.
I never know when I come to to the end of that if you've just been sitting there going, I got something to say about this. I got something to say about this. I got something to say about this. Or you just go, okay.
One of my service in hell, I don't want to talk about it because I don't want somebody stealing the idea projects. After Spawn hit 300 and Todd decided to do the Spawn universe where he's doing spin-off books, so there's Spawn, there's King Spawn, there's Gunslinger Spawn, who I keep telling, every time it pops up on Twitter, like Todd will share, this is the cover for Gunslinger Spawn, I'll comment, if he doesn't sound like Yosemite Sam, what's the point? And I haven't gotten any reaction from anybody when I do it, because, I mean, if you're doing a Gunslinger Spawn, if he doesn't sound like Yosemite Sam, what's the point? But,
there are other gunslingers. I mean, it could be Clint Eastwood Spawn, and you just can't call him Clint Eastwood Spawn, or Spaghetti Western Spawn.
But, come on, Yosemite Sam is as you know, the ultimate Batman passage of, you know, he's a demon from hell that fights crime. But one of the books is called The Scorched, and it's the Spawn team-up book where he's got all the various Spawns together. And I decided that, you know, we should do a parody of that book, because there's Spore, there's Cerebus' Spawn from the poster, there's Sura Spawn from the Hell Society cover.
Right.
And then there's Hello Spawny. So I made a mock-up of the cover, and it's called The Sporched.
I love it. As Gerhard used to say, run that, baby.
Well,
quoting Bloom County.
So I have strips mocked up, and the first strip, it's a mock-up. It's a parody of the Spawn 10 page 1. It's I am Spore, I am not Spore. You know, I am Spore, and it goes through, you know, all the reasons why he's Spore. And then it's I am not Spore, because in the notes for Latter Days, Dave Sim gave Spore to Todd McFarlane, and I'm not getting sued. And then Spore goes, what are you talking about? We're not going to get sued. You know, all we got to do is get one of them all-female Neil Gaiman juries, and we're in like Flint. And Notspore goes, you really think an all-female Neil Gaiman jury is going to side with Dave Sim? And then it's the last. It's 3 pages. The third page is a half of the Spore, not Spore, and it's I am not Spore. I am also not Spore.
Well, I usually say don't quit your day job, but this would be a different reason. It would be don't quit your day job, but use all of your free time getting that down on paper, please.
Well, that's like, and then I want to keep it to 24 pages. I don't want to have to do a 48-page special, because the price is higher. I think the sales might be lower on those. You know, like, you know, it's one of those. It's one of them golden goose things where if the issue's a double issue, I don't know if sales go down or not. And it's one of the, you know, but I want to come back to it with Hello Spawny of I am Hello Spawny, and there's another one going, I'm Hello Spawny's twin sister, Hello Spory, because in Hello Kitty has a twin sister called Melody, and it's because I have little girls. I know way more about Hello Kitty than any 43-year-old man should know.
Without getting a restraining order, anyway.
And it's one of those. I love the idea of parodying the Spawn 10's opening, because the Spawn 10 opening it's one of those. It's eminently parodiable if you have a good enough gag, and it's like, you know, I am Spore, I am not Spore, and then it's, you know, it comes back like a boomerang of I am Hello Spawny, I am not Hello Spawny, I'm her twin sister. And I have a few other, you know, the one gag I sent you of Spore Batvark, where it's Batvark in the alley with the Hell Society Surspawn of, And it's Bavard going, nice place you got here. Who are your greatest villains? Dysentery and tetanus? And I want to, and like I said, I got a number of strips, but it's just finding the time. And the other one is I actually want to make physical mock-ups to fax up because, in my head, this is going to look great. And I'm like, I just know if I just type it and send it to the guys, they're going to go, well, is this what you were thinking? It's like, no, just... So I basically need to get Dagan or Sean to send me a digital copy of the remastered Spawn 10 so I can just, okay, it's this with this instead of this and this and this.
Works for me. I don't have to do anything on it. That's my criteria for a great issue of Cerebus in Hell with a question mark.
I mean, I have one strip. It's like it's a sequence of maybe 2 or 3 strips that I'm in my head. I'm going, this is the one where Dave sees it, he's either going to say, no way in heck does this see print, or he's going to go, that was a grand slam home run out of the park. Bottom of the ninth, we've won the game, gag. And it's one of those, every time I think of it, I'm like, this is really a coin flip, because you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it.
No, it's one of those, a home run in, like towering shot to center field, is when we make ourselves laugh. It's like, I've decided it's a hopeless task trying to make anybody else in this weird politically correct world where everybody's super sensitive about anything, laugh about anything. So it's no. If it makes you laugh, it's probably going to make me laugh. Don't sweat that one.
Okay. Spoiler warning for people who eventually get to read this when Matt gets off his ass and writes it. So, Spore is Al Sim, because it's the parody of Al Simmons, and it's one of those I thought of and went, oh god, that's just perfect. Al Sim, he's a mercenary killer, dies, goes to hell, comes back to see his wife, and I'm not sure if it's a 3 or 4 page sequence where he finally confronts his wife of, I'm back from the dead for you, and discovers that, she's remarried his best friend, they have a baby, the timeline doesn't work out for this to be she got pregnant after he died. And,
right.
And he's confronting her about wait, you cheated on me with my best friend, and says to her, I'm kind of looking forward to when you die and get sent down to hell. And she responds, oh no, I'm going to heaven. I've accepted Jesus as my Lord and Master. And there's a blank panel with no dialogue, and then the last panel is Spore going, wait a minute, Jesus, you fucked the gardener? And the
okay, that's a little over the edge.
Well, the after gag is, well, Al, you did ask him to take care of your wife's bush.
Whoa!
See, this is why I said you're either going to love it or hate it.
As long as your name is on it prominently, and don't look at me. I let these guys fill their own issues.
Well, and this is one of those, like I said, every time I come to it makes me laugh, but at the same time, it's a sequence. Like, I have to have, as Michael R. has, how do you build to a cliffhanger? Well, this is the gag, but if you don't set it up right, it comes across as a broken leg.
Right. I think that would be my reaction. I've never gone, that's just over the edge. It's like, usually it's okay. I see what you're driving at. There's a gag here, but you gotta find the funny. Is what I always tell the guys. Like you gotta get right to the core of it. And I think this is probably better phraseology or a different way to tackle it.
Right.
The War in Hell that David Birdsong did. It was funny, but it was just a little too over the edge in terms of Fox TV's approach to the war in Ukraine. and it's no, you got it here, but you're just not framing it correctly. So at this point, with all of you guys, I usually just have to say, let's rearrange this strip, let's change this phraseology, and I think you've got the gag there. In terms of what's the rest of the world going to think of it, it's like, man, oh man, we've got 1,000, 1,200 hardcore fans that I think are going, this is about the only thing that makes me laugh in the world today. So I try to hang on for them.